stage, my man from Yonkers, New York. DMX. Yeah, that's what's up. I appreciate it. What I'm gonna speak on is the thing that's on my mind the most. You know what I'm saying? The thing that we don't gotta deal with every day, but don't really know. The industry.
So.
The industry. Man, it's not the same. Does it have to do with talent? It's about playing the game. The industry. Real niggas is dying to get in. The industry. Justifying they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that. But I'm going to dress like this and talk back. The industry got your word meaning nothing. The industry, fuck what you heard because he's bluffing. The industry, money, bitches, hate, but I dare you to try to take the fucking thing off my plate. The industry like, wait, but in the streets be like, get him. 17 up in that thing, can you sleep and hit him? The industry, if you ain't got a strong mind, the industry will break you down, it's a matter of time. The industry, vultures with nothing to feast on. See me, I'm getting my beast on. The industry, stay in the dirt, play in the dirt, test the wrong one in the industry and you will get hurt. I'm not an industry artist, I'm an artist in the industry. So I do what the fuck I want because nobody can finish me. The industry, wanted, dead or alive, new artists to sell their souls in the way they survive.
Ooh,
the industry don't give a fuck about you, but the industry couldn't make a dime without you. The industry, I'm sick of this industry shit. The industry playing them like an industry bitch. They try to finish me quick, but I am long, so I stand strong. Fuck a beat. Listen to the words of the damn song. I only know how to speak the truth, you know what I'm saying? So I got a little short joint I'm gonna hit you with, you know what I'm saying? And it basically reflects on my relationship with the industry. This is what it is. Often my words fall on deaf ears. Motherfuckers be listening but don't hear. Talking to a nigga, he be sitting right here. I be like, where you going? Nigga be like, yeah. Thank you.
Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses, and this moon is a moon of being responsible for what you are not responsible for. Now, what does this mean? A lot of us have downloads from previous lives, from parents, from environments, from genetics that we have to deal with on an everyday basis. Okay? And with this, we have newfound responsibilities. We have knowledges that we don't understand how to process. I'm going to give you one example. When I was in Oklahoma, I lived with a family, and most of that family was obese. Okay, and when I went through my household, I asked, without asking, pretty much this question: what has made you how you are? Because I saw a family photo and everybody was reminiscing on it, and they said, when I was younger, when I was this age, when I was that age, I was healthy, I was skinny, I was this. But what made you like this? The mother was the person that was responsible for the physicality of that family. And when I got my answer, my soul was troubled because I found out that the mother had been used to a specific type of diet. The father was not someone who had the same genetics and the same specific types of predispositions that would encourage those children to be the children at that time. They were all adults when I moved in. They were all, I would think I was 25. So they, two of them were younger than me, and one of them was about 2 years older than me, about a year and a half older than me. When it came down to it, the person that I interacted with had told me that this is just our culture. This is just how we eat. We don't eat fruits. We don't eat vegetables. We eat meat. We don't encourage the consumption of fruits and vegetables. So my question was, if this is not the body type that you would choose for yourself, why why do you encourage the growth of this body type and the maintenance of this body type? And her answer was, this is just what I'm used to, a very earthy answer. Okay. This is what she, this is what this whole family had been used to for so long that it seems alien, to stray from these teachings that fruits and vegetables are not real food. Okay, that meat, because we label ourselves as rednecks. This is something that we need to eat, because if we don't eat this, this is not, I'm no longer going to be a real person. But I ask you, what is it that your last relationship has given you that will make you feel like if you don't act upon this, you're not going to be a real person anymore? People ask me often, how do I gain trust in relationships? How can I be more romantic? How can I get over this last person when I'm involved with a new person? And my question is, you mean to tell me you're going to hold somebody accountable for an action that you consciously make every day that has nothing to do with how you act right now? Does that even does that even seem logical to you? If you have trust issues, if a person cheated on you, why should they feel inclined to let you check their phone? You don't pay the phone bill. You didn't buy this phone. They didn't raise you. They didn't do whatever you think has been done to you has been done in order for them to be subjected to your own insecurities, to your own toxicity. So why should you make somebody responsible for something that they did not do? Why would you put somebody in that position if you can't even accept that what has been done to you is not on your own? You didn't make that choice. And we're going to go back to that example. If you're obese, for an example, if you're obese and your father is has a has the genetics to be a skinny person and your mother does not, and you're literally only obese because of the food choices that your mother has made for you, because that's the only thing she's going to cook, fried, unhealthy, soaked in this, soaked in that. If you think that's healthy, or if you accept that as your diet, that's up to you, bro. That's up to you. Now, when you can turn the age of 16, 7, if you make it to that age, 16, 17, 18, and you can actually start to work and invest in your own diet, and you choose not to, whose fault is that? Okay. If something happened to you, and now you treat people off of the energies that were introduced to you, why does our relationship have to include not only you, not only me, but the damages that you've inherited? I'm not about to be responsible for something that's invisible to me, because that's not my culture. Because if I had the choice, that wouldn't exist. Because if I had the choice, those people would be held accountable. Okay. This Aries moon, this full moon coming up, is calling you to be responsible for what you are not responsible for. Okay. I know that's how you grew up. I know that's what people gave you, but it's your choice to inherit these positives and these negatives. There's a lot of things that I inherited negatively. I'm talking about socially. I'm talking about genetic. I'm talking about environment, emotionally, verbally. There's a lot of things that I don't act off of because it's a choice. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's a choice. I know some people that have grown up in the worst environments possible, and they didn't act off of that. And they're living in affluent areas. They're making great choices. They've never even experimented with those drugs that they have been subjected to being around. It's your choice. So we're gonna go through these 12 signs, Aries through Pisces, and we're gonna give you the choices that you need to be making at this time in order for you to make better choices pertaining to acting on what you are not responsible for, at the same time choosing what you need to do to separate yourself and to elevate yourself in order to be your best self. So of course we're going to start with Aries. We're going to pull one tarot card and one oracle card. And of course, for my Egyptian deck, we're going to have the poetry. Now, if you've never watched me, if you've never seen any of my videos, I just want you to know that this deck speaks very poetically, and it doesn't always send messages that are straightforward. Usually it doesn't. Okay. So let me share to a couple groups real quick. And while I do this, I want you to understand that whatever you're going through, if you have good choices to make, if you feel like there's even a 1% chance that you can make a good choice, a positive choice, something that's going to benefit you, something that's going to elevate a person that's going through something similar to what you're going through, I want you to make that choice, because everything is a choice. Okay? Do not give anybody the power to tell you, whether it be a person, a place, a thing, whether you live in the hood, whether you live in the suburbs, whether you have specific genetics to be an addict, whether you feel like you have an addictive personality, whether you feel like it doesn't matter what you've been cursed with. What are you going to do with it? A wise man once said that those who make the most impact on life, those who change the world the most, more than anything, have been obsessed with something. Okay? Those who have changed the world the most have been obsessed with something. So I want you to take, if you feel like you have the genetics of an addict, if you feel like, okay, everybody in my family is some fucking alcoholics or some cocaine addicts, you have the genetics to be great then. You're already predisposed, you already have the predisposition, you're already predisposed genetically to be fixated on something that is unhealthy for you. Why don't you transmute that? Why don't you direct your attention? Why don't you direct your focus on positivity instead of toxicity? Like I said, that hurt a lot of people's feelings when I said toxicity is a choice. That hurt a lot of people's feelings. But I'm here to tell you I don't apologize for that, because it is totally a choice. That's up to you. You want to slap your boyfriend or your girlfriend or call your kids all kind of names that you should not be introducing into their consciousness. That's up to you, bro. That's up to, I don't care what your mom or your dad or your last boyfriend, I don't care what they did to you. That's a choice. You're an adult. That's the beauty of being an adult. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Stupid. So don't blame it on your parents. Don't say, well, my last girlfriend or boyfriend gave me trust issues and no, I don't. Keep your $40. I don't want to give you a reading. If that's your mentality, keep your little 40, 50, 100, and I don't care, bro. If that's what you want to stick with, keep that. See what happens. See what kind of life you have thinking that mentality. See what kind of life you have thinking everybody else is the cause of your life, and you're just the effect. You're not just the cause of your life. I mean, no, you're not the effect of your life. You are the cause. And if you want to tell me that your last boyfriend, you could tell me the most horrible thing that ever. You are the cause. You're the cause. What prevents toxicity? Standards, bound Aries. If you don't bound that Aries energy inside you, yes, anybody can do whatever the fuck they want to do to you. If you don't bound that Martian energy, if you don't bound Aries inside you, which is why Aries is the number one and the number three, the number of knowledge and understanding. If you don't bound Aries inside yourself, yes, anybody can do whatever they want. Bound Aries. Okay? How do you spell boundaries? Of course. So let me keep sharing this out real quick. Matter of fact, I'll do that later. But for Aries, what do we have? Now, this goes for the people who have Aries suns, Aries moons, Aries ascendant, or Saturn in the first house. So we have, of course, the Six of Scepters. Okay. What do you need to introduce in your life as an Aries sun, Aries moon, Aries ascendant, or Saturn in the first house? What do you need to accept in your life to be able to go past what you're going through? We have individuality, okay? Of course. Finding the totality of the neediness of your relationships. So understanding, to me, this means more so understanding why you not only attract the people that you have in your life naturally. We're saying naturally. Finding the foundation of how, what, where, when, why you attract these people that you do naturally. And understanding that you have more control and utilizing the energies that you use to control who you attract, which is a big issue with a lot of my Aries brothers and sisters and myself. Accepting that these people are around you because, oh, they did this, they did this. Well, if I used to smoke cigarettes 5 months ago, but I stopped smoking cigarettes or weed or whatever it is, it's natural that I attract these people. No, it's not. That's up to you. Okay, very Saturn in first house thing. What you need is individuality. What you need is to redefine. What you need is to start setting some goals. What you need is to invest in some strong affirmations. Okay, very important. Very important. Start writing these scripts. And I have a video on how to make magic by writing a story. So basically, what it is you write a fictional story, but use your own name and use your own energy as the main character. Then write the story, but you have to be a little bit less emotionally invested than most people are in writing these stories. So next we have Taurus. Okay. So Taurus, how are you going to change your life? How are you going to detach yourself? How are you going to detach yourself from these energies that you have inherited from your past? So we have the Six of Cups for Taurus. Six of Cups. And we have self-discipline. 41.5 change. Okay. This is telling me find the self within the self. Recognizing that damage doesn't have to be done unless you allow it. Cleaning the self without permission. So probably cutting people off. Knowing the self without fruition. So I'm going to cut it off right there. Knowing the self without fruition. Taurus. Knowing the self without fruition to me means setting the goal without the how. Setting the goal without the how. Very important in magic. And let me do my shout outs real quick. I'm sorry, guys. What's up, Capri? What's up, Pharaoh? What's up, Jake? Make sure to share this out, guys. What's up, Jenny? What's up, Tajay? What's up, Anisha? What's up, Angel? Melody, Sheila, Alejandra? Make sure to share this out, guys. But for Taurus, your message is to set the goals without the how. And I'm not a without the how type of person. I'm also not a Taurus. But for Taurus, just plant the seeds. Plant the seeds. Plant the seeds, Taurus. If you say I'm going to be a billionaire in 3 days, which is, logically, that's unrealistic. The how doesn't matter. Don't ask yourself, if you're a Taurus, set your goals, but don't ask yourself how. The how doesn't matter for Tauruses. How, nigga, you're a Taurus. Plant the seeds. That's all you need to know. You're a Taurus. That's that 111 energy. Okay, that's that healthy narcissism, healthy arrogance, healthy selfishness. Plant the seeds. You need to utilize that healthy arrogance, which is the last one of the one. Okay, healthy arrogance is what you need as a Taurus. It's okay to say I'm the shit sometimes, Taurus. It's okay to feel that you're the shit. It's okay. I'm telling you, it's okay. It's okay to feel like you're the shit. How are you gonna be the shit if you don't know how it feels to be the shit? That doesn't make sense. Don't let anybody tell you you're not the shit. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to humble yourself. If people tell you that and you're offended, that means you're going beyond what you're supposed to go. If somebody says you need to humble yourself and you're like, you don't even know I'm humble. I'm just putting the energy out there so I can attract what I want to attract. That's one thing. But if somebody says, you're not the shit, I can beat your, or I could do this, or I got more money than you, or you don't have this, that means you're actually going beyond the level of healthy arrogance that you need to go. Okay? There's such thing as healthy arrogance. There's such thing as healthy narcissism. There's such thing as healthy selfishness. You just need to know how to project it. And you know how to project it because that's what Tauruses do. But self-discipline is what you need in order. And again, we have that number one again. In order to be able to practice healthy narcissism, healthy selfishness, and healthy arrogance, okay? So next we have Gemini. That was good. So Gemini, definitely like this video. Share this video if you're a Taurus, Aries, or Gemini. Especially if you have any Gemini, Taurus, or Aries homies that you think would benefit from this message. Benefit with healthy and happy consequence. So next is Gemini. Okay, so I'm feeling drawn to this card. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to look at it. Oh. I just felt this card. My eye was drawn to this card. So we have, again, the Towers. Right side up. This is how it looks, but I pulled it reverse. And again, guys, if you're not familiar with these cards, this is the Egyptian deck. So this would be 16 major arcana. So if you're a Gemini, I would definitely recommend that you look up the 16th. This camera's not adjusting. There we go. The Thunderstruck Towers. So the Towers, look at the symbolism, right, for Gemini. And then we have self-discipline, and I just shuffled these cards, so we pulled the same thing for Gemini as we did for Taurus. So if you're a Gemini and you have a Taurus best friend, start interacting with them, understand their psychology, understand their mentality towards specific situations that have occurred in their past and how they affect them, currently. But for Gemini, the things that you wish for are not what you wish for. What you must endure is your present. Your future is not based off of your present, but your past. And not knowing your past will affect your present. So, Gemini, this is more so a freaking course. This is more so you understanding how you need to utilize the energies that are being given to you. So a lot of Geminis at this point may be questioning how they've handled a lot of situations. A lot of Geminis might be trying to, I don't want to say recreate, but trying to use their past as a roadmap, which is the only thing that the past is really good for, a roadmap. Not so much a destiny type of roadmap, but for understanding where the diamonds were inside themselves. Okay, that's what the past is for. Understanding what they can, the lessons. You understand? Understanding more so of the nutrients, being more nutritional during these times based off of the seeds that were planted. Okay, so you might want to, I do this quite often. You might want to listen to music that you listened to, back in the day, trying to understand why you've done the things that you've done in your past and try to reconnect with those energies. More so, especially if you're an artist, and you're a Gemini. Okay, so again, what you need is self-discipline. What you need is to be converting those nasty habits, the energies that you use to indulge in those nasty habits, and using them to endorse those more positive habits. Okay, you have to replace your bad habits with healthy habits. That's the only way that you can grow in all actuality. Okay, so that's what I have for Gemini. That's definitely what I have for Gemini. If you're a 90s baby, and I know you had that Backstreet Boys album, I know you had that Now That's What I Call Music 3. Now That's What I Call Music 7, that BET Awards Volume 3, that I know you had that Unleash the Dragon by Cisco. Go back and listen to that. I know you had that Oops, I Did It Again single with the instrumental at the end. Come on, I know you. So we gotta start investing in our past in order to invest in that future. Understand where you came from. Ancestor work. Okay, you are your own ancestor. A lot of people use that word ancestor and don't include that dead self. Okay, we die every day. A lot of us die every second because you're constantly growing, you're constantly thinking, constantly reading those books, you're constantly reading for an hour. If you read for an hour a day, that means that you die every day. So it's pieces of you that are being recreated. And I'm going to give you this side note. it's important to understand how the mind works, how the physical brain works, because if you learn every day, if you read every day, if you're an adult or a child and you read every day, right? You're learning, you're taking new information in. It's 9 times out of 10, you're unprogramming yourself from negative or unhealthy habits. For example, let's say you're from Illinois, right? And you always thought that the correct way to pronounce Illinois was with the silent S. You say Illinois. And a teacher comes up to you and he says, that's not how you pronounce Illinois. It's not Illinois, it's Illinois. The only reason that you would embrace that is because a piece of parts of your brain cells actually die. Okay, and they're replaced with more healthy brain cells because they are aligned with facts. And you embrace the fact that Illinois is not pronounced with the silent S, it's pronounced Illinois with no S. So now you have brain cells that are renewed, that are more powerful because they are more so aligned with the vortex and the spirit of facts. Okay, so if you read every day and you say, well, I didn't know that when you wake up in the morning, the best breakfast that you can indulge in is 32 ounces of water, facts. And then when you drink water, you're supposed to go in the sun and meditate for at least 12 minutes and then eat citrus. And you're not supposed to eat citrus within 4 hours of the next, piece of nutrient that you indulge in. And if I tell you that and you embrace that because that is facts, although I personally don't do it because my job and how I operate in my life, if I tell you that and you embrace that as facts and you learn and you learn that there's going to be pieces of your brain that actually relieve themselves from your brain and they're going to get replaced with more healthy brain cells because that's filled with facts, something that's different that you're used to. Facts. All right, so now we have Cancer. That's why it's important to read and constantly learn. So we're going to shuffle this 4 times for Cancer. And now if you know anybody, any of your loved ones that has a Cancer moon, Cancer ascendant, or they have Saturn in their 4th house, make sure you tag them. Or even a Capricorn ascendant that just won't accept facts, like myself. Nah. I got self-discipline again. I'm gonna shuffle this again. I got self-discipline again for Capricorn. For Cancer. I'm gonna shuffle these one more time. All right, I got a card that jumped out. So we have the 2 urns, which is 16. Wait, 14. I'm sorry. 14. And we have spiritual partnership, 27. So for Cancers, this is that you need to be understanding what is possible and understanding what is impossible. Setting those boundaries, setting those goals, knowing what you want, knowing that not everybody has your best interest at heart, understanding that you need to be networking at this point, understanding that you need to be working with a team at this point, which is very important. All right. What you need is spiritual partnership. Spiritual partnership is the card of knowing that you need to build a relationship with people, places, things, times, events. And you need to be breathing the universe, or spirit, as they like to say, into everything that you do. This is very similar to the card spiritual career, but spiritual partnership is more so, it's one of the steps that you need to take, building those spiritual partnerships before you break break free of this of this flesh, of this physicality that you've embraced as a soul. One of those things being language. One of those things being not saying I, saying one, changing your language, changing how you speak, knowing that when you desire something or when you go after something, that it's not you, it's your flesh. And when you want another thing, it's not your flesh, it is you. When you have those struggles, when you have those issues, it's not you all the time. Okay, and next we have Leo, and Leo's tarot card jumped out. Let me shuffle this. Tag. One. Two. Three. Four. I'm feeling this card. It's fucking spiritual part. Interesting. So for Leo, let's look at this. This is the master of the arcanes. And of course, this is an older deck and it's an Egyptian deck. So it's not going to align totally. So this is the major arcana 5. Okay. So I want you to Google the 5th tarot card. And again, we see Aries. We see the symbol for Mars. Very important symbolism, the master of the arcanes. Then again, we have spiritual partnership. Very important. So for Leo, understanding that happiness is not always out of your control. Happiness is something that is not created, but something that is within. Something that's built. Something that no one can invest in but yourself. Leo, that's your message. Spiritual partnership, I already explained that. This is an attachment to people, places, things, settings, times, and events that more so have happened in the past, but something that you relate to. This is not so much of a future projection. Okay. But I want you to take that message into account. So after Leo, of course, we have Virgo. So for Virgo, I'm going to shuffle 6 times. For, I believe, guys, I got to piss real bad. I had to pee. I had to pee a lot. So hold on. Like a gentleman. About the game, we kept that other suppressor. Hold your horses. Hold horses. Okay. That is so sedity like you don't piss. I'm gonna shuffle one more time for Virgo. Okay, and this is for Virgos. Awesome. Let's see. Awesome. Rebirth. So we have the Three of Swords. And then we have Rebirth. For Virgos. And again, let me read these messages. What's up, Fatima, Kimberly? Hey, Love, Alejandro, Sheila, Melody, Angel Price. Okay, so for Virgos, knowing what is, of course, a Virgo, knowing what is not knowing is important at this time. Finding the book is not a joy, but within their joys are joys, gems. Gems that need to be not hidden, but spoken. Think about that. So you need to be, I think, honestly, this is a time for meditation. This is a time for you to be, and I always say that. But this for Virgo is the time of meditation and understanding how you need to be communicating your message, because Virgo is not only based off of Mercurian energies, Virgo is also based off of Jupiter energies. Jupiter is very closely related to the sun. Virgo, this is a time for you to be working on your, not so much your communication, but the information that you need to be putting out to people, how you're going to be people's sun, their sun, how you are going to enlighten the people, how you're going to spread your message without being so aggressive, without you being something that's going to be a burden. Being that sun during the wintertime, because if you're in the west world, it's getting cold out here. Okay, if you're in the north, the east, some parts of the south, and a couple parts of the west, you know it's about to get cold out here. Okay, so you need to be that sunlight. You know, when you step outside and all you see is snow, but you get that beam of sunlight and you just want to do this all day. You know, when it's 40 degrees outside, but when you get that good beam of sunlight with no clouds and it feels like 70 degrees until the cloud comes and sweeps it away. That's what you need to be, Virgo, at this point in time. Okay, and what you need is rebirth. You need somebody that's going to entertain you, as well as that's going to inform you. Somebody that's not only going to be nice to look at, but somebody that's going to expound on something profound. Somebody that's going to give you some information that's going to make your experience on this planet a little bit better, a lot bit better, not a little bit better, not insignificantly, but significantly. Somebody that when you think about this person, they're not only nice to listen to, but nice to look at. Somebody that's not only entertaining, but informative. Okay, so at this point, that's what you need to be investing in. Comedy is really good for that. Okay, spirituality is really good for that. Something that's going to be nice to the ear, nice to the eye. Okay, that's going to stimulate more than one sense, more than one part of your brain. So after Virgo, who do we have? Scorpio. Wait, Libra, exactly. What the what the glitch in the universe was that? Ugh. Being responsible or what you're not responsible for. What do you need? Where you at? And what do you need? And this is for the suns, the moons, and the ascendants, not just the suns. Keep that in mind. And the Saturns in that house. So this is for Libra. So we have Libra the scepter. Sound familiar? Oh, Libra. We have the scepter. That one, that Aries. And we have personal growth, which is the number of Libra. That's 7, the God, the source. Okay. So 1 plus, well, all right, let's get it. Libra, what do you need? This is saying Libra, what you need is all that you need. You can't feed demons that you don't have. The angels are not without angels. They're with the demons. Finding what you don't need is your struggle as a Libra. Continuing is a problem, of course, the indecisive Libra. Continuing with the problem is a struggle. So Libra, you need to be utilizing these energies not only to understand myself, but to understand what goes on with the people that closely relate to you. Not necessarily to feed them or not necessarily to serve them, but to understand the complications that, like a beyond scared straight type of thing for you guys, Libra. To understand where you could be, to remind yourself, a refresher course, a booster shot, if you will, to understand what you could be going through if you embrace the same energies that they embrace. You understand? And what you need is personal growth. If you do 20 push-ups a day, do 25 push-ups a day. Okay? If you eat however many pineapple pieces, slices, chunks that you eat, eat a little bit more though. If you drink, 72 ounces of water a day, drink 80. Libra, this is time for you to step your game up. Understanding that somebody is out there trying to harm you, and I'm not trying to scare. Well, shit. If you need to be scared, I am trying to scare you. If you're a Libra or Libra moon, or you have Saturn in your 7th house, you need to be stepping your game up at this time, because you need to understand that everybody's not your friend. Okay, you need to be understanding that people are out there waiting for you to slip, and this is ideal for you to step your game up. This is ideal for you to not be paranoid, but for you to be cautious. Okay, for you to represent, the spirit of armor at this point, Libra, which is, I wholeheartedly believe that for every Libra at any point in time. But especially during these times, especially because that Martian energy is a little is prevalent. Don't run from it, baby, because it's not that easy. I'm telling you, it's not that easy. I'm a Libra moon, full moon. The moon was full when I was born, and I'm an Aries sun. So don't run from your armor. Your armor is precaution if you're a Libra. Okay. And again, if you have any Libra homies, if your girlfriend's a Libra, if your mom's a Libra, if your dad's a Libra, if your best friend's a Libra, if your favorite Facebook friend's a Libra, make sure you let them know. Make sure you share this. You don't have to tag them if you don't want to, but if you share it, they might see it, they might not. Okay, take that chance. So after Libra, we have Scorpio. So for Scorpio, I'm getting a lot of cups. You emotional. I'm getting a lot of cups. So we have the Four of Cups, and that word is four right there. That second word in the middle is four. My camera, there you go, baby. Four of Cups, very important. And we have healing, 66, the number of creation. 6 plus 6 is 3, very important, especially the color blue for Scorpio. So for Scorpio, this message is achievement is better than underachievement. Worse under there is no worse underachievement than not being thy true self. Thy being a very important aspect of this reading. Now it's spelled thy, Thy, but it's telling me that Scorpios, you need to be understanding the matrix of your legs, the importance of your lower body. So I don't know if you're a Scorpio and you're watching this, you don't take care of your feet. You thought you didn't want to get a new pair of shoes, but you need to, because your feet are very important, not only to your mental health, but your physical, your comfortability. Your feet are very important to what's the word I'm looking for? The pretty much the balance of your hormones. Your feet are very important. A lot of people don't express the importance of the feet, but your feet actually can regulate your hormones if you take care of them properly. Okay, they impact your thalamus, your hypothalamus, parts of the brain, the balance of your body, the balance of your hormones, the balance of how your body responds to specific viruses and bacteria, how your body heats itself, your spine, your eyesight, a lot of things people don't like to speak about, but that's facts. So if you know any Scorpios, or if you have any strong, personally, me, I have Pluto in Scorpio in my eighth house. No, wait, no, my 10th house. I can't remember, bro. I'm not that big on astrology, to be totally honest, but I just felt calling to do this. But the feet are very important to everybody, not just the Scorpios. And what you need, Scorpio, is healing. Okay, 66. 6 is the number of introduction. Okay, very closely related to the number one. Very, very, very closely related to the number one. Very, very. The one is important to the number of knowledge. Okay, 6 is important to the number of creation, introduction. Okay, and then we have 3, very important to the number one as well. The cycle of 1, 2, and 3, just like 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so if you have 1, 2, and 3 would be the completion of the cycle, but 6, 5, and 4 would be that same cycle. So if you apply 1, 2, and 3, 6 would be 1, 5 would be 2, and then 3. Excuse me. And then 6 would be 1, 5 would be 2, and then 4 would be 3. Okay, if you reverse the cycle. I mean, that's a little bit of numerology, if you understand numerology, but healing. Very important. That's what you need as a Scorpio. All right. So we go from Scorpio to Sagittarius. I know this has been painful. Bear with me. Okay. So we have the Two of Swords. Not so much a battle, not so much a relationship change, some in between. You're feeling that you need to be understanding more as far as how you relate to people. That's understandable. So Sagittarius, what you need Sagittarius, you need to be understanding what you do. As far as how it relates to you. Sagittarius are normally very creative people. I have yet to meet a Sagittarius that's not an artist in some form. Um, I haven't met any Sagittarius that were not. For example, I met Aquarius, Aquarii that didn't have a creative bone in their body. They haven't been accountants or lawyers or nurses, and they didn't have a creative bone in their body. They just dealt with numbers. I met Pisces like that. I met Libras like that. I don't think I met any fire signs like that. But anyway, you need to be finding yourself, re-identifying yourself in the things that you do, whether it be small or big, whether it be something like your hygiene. Do you really put this smell on you because you can actually identify it with it, or do you do it because it's just something that your family does? I know a lot of people who only use a specific deodorant because their granddad used it or because their dad used it. They only use this specific cologne or wear these shoes because that's what their people do. Personally, I don't do none of that shit. But of course, I'm an Aries, so that's different. I'm not a Sagittarius. But do you actually do what you do because you see yourself in it? Do you do that? Do you indulge in these things? Do you partake in specific activities because you can see yourself in it? And if you don't, or even if you do, see yourself deeper in these things, guess what? Iron pills right on my desk. Iron pills. And I'm an Aries. Somebody asked me, do you have an iron deficiency? No. I take iron pills because I was advised to take iron pills. Because a bodybuilder that I met said that most people are iron deficient. And because iron pills are one of the supplements that you can actually test for yourself. Because when you put that iron pill that I got from Walmart for $5, you can taste that it tastes like blood. And it's official like a referee, but with the whistle. Okay? So that's why I take them. Because I believed it. And when I took those iron pills, you can feel them kick in the third or fourth day. And if you take those iron pills for about 4 days and you neglect taking them, about 4 weeks, and you neglect taking them for about 2 or 3 days, you're going to feel different. Activities are going to not be equivalent to what they would have been had you been taking them. Okay, that's why I take them. So I want you to see yourself in these activities. Do I take iron pills because I'm an Aries? Maybe. But I accepted that as a sign that I was doing something right. For example, if I was a Sagittarius, okay, and what a Sagittarius needs at this point to include in this reading would be a love partnership, not a romantic partnership, not something that needs to be totally invested in on both of you guys' parts. This could be a pet. This could be a new a new hobby, a new genre. This could be a lot of things, but it doesn't always include romanticism, music, diets. Okay, the definition of love is a high admiration for a people, place, thing, setting, time, or event. High admiration, different from a like. If you like something, that means that you can either see yourself inside of that thing, or that thing complements your natural state. That means it's the opposite of what you already have to offer. So love is what Sagittarius needs right now. Partnership, something that's going to increase your value at this point. So after that beautiful sun sign, we have Capricorn. So for Capricorn, wait, 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is not only for Capricorn suns, moons, or ascendants. This is also for people who have Saturn in their 10th house. All right. Or a lot of important 10th house placements. I'm going to shuffle 3 times and pull the 10th from the top. Okay, so Capricorn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Damn, I gotta do it again. Okay, so for Capricorn, we have Master of the Swords. Master of the Sword. And then we have Manifestation is what you need. Very important. All right, so Master of the Swords. This is telling me that you need to find out what completes you. Very important. Find out what completes you. Understanding the level of completion that you need, and knowing that cleansing does not always have to be a dirty process. Very, very important. Very important. Okay. So, of course, what we need, Capricorn, and this goes for I'm a Capricorn descendant, so I'm definitely going to listen to this. Manifestation. You need to be doing these spiritual exercises. You need to be expanding as well as contracting. Okay, you need to be playing with these side balls, these side wheels. You need to be taking it back to the basics. Breathing exercises, yoga, making sure that you pay attention to the fundamentals, making sure that you reconnect with these elements as a Capricorn. Somebody, even this would apply to somebody with Capricorn, with Saturn in the 1st house. Very important. Saturn in the 10th house, people. Saturn in the 1st house. Capricorn ascendants, Capricorn moons, Capricorn, of course, suns. And even if you have a Cancer ascendant, very important at this point. Okay. So after Capricorn, we have Earth, air, we got fire, earth, water. Okay, so Aquarius. 2 more. Snacks. Those are like a creepy snacks. Alright, guys. Then after this, we're going to be doing some free readings. So make sure to share this video if you want a free reading based on what you need in order to get to this next level. What you need to get to your next level. Make sure to share this video if you want a free reading. What you need to get to the next level based on the responsibilities that you have not taken in your life. And if you know any Aquarii or Pisceans, if that's how you want to say it, make sure to share this video. Okay, so we'll say I'll do 11 from the bottom. I'm feeling from the bottom. Take these. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we'll do the same for this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we have the sacrifice reversed. Reverse. It says the sacrifice. And then we have change, what you need. Okay. So for the Aquariuses, for Aquarius, this is telling me that you need to find what needs to be done without doing it yourself. So you need to be building a network of people that are going to work with you. People that are not just going to tell you that they love you. People that are going to perform the actions that speak to the amount of love that they profess to have for you. Okay? You need to be cutting ties. You need to be embracing new friends. I know you like to listen to Drake a lot, but no new friends is not applicable when it comes to what you're doing. Okay, it does not apply to what you need to be doing. You need to be embracing the people that are going to show you love, loyalty, respect, honesty, decency. You need to be building an empire. This is very important for you, building empires right now. If you're an Aquarius, okay, change is what you need if you're an Aquarius. Okay, you need to be taking steps in order for you to step out of your box, in order for you to be going on adventures. You need to be investing in your adventure muscles. You need to be investing in these trips. You need to be investing on taking planes. You need to be investing on what you can get from foreign lands. Okay, culturing yourself. You need to be understanding what you're going to get from traveling in order for you to travel and take something back that's worth more than money from these foreign lands. And then when I say foreign lands, it doesn't have to be, it could be whatever you feel like you can afford within the next year, even if it's across your state. Even if you live in New York and you're from Brooklyn and you want to go to Woodstock, New York. Woodstock, I would definitely advise everybody to go to Woodstock, New York at some point and see how they live out there. Okay. Even if you make an okay amount of money, even if you make like 60 bands a year and you want to go to freaking like Beverly Hills or San Francisco for a couple of days or for a week, take some PTO and go out there. Even if you live in Chicago and you want to go to New Orleans or Houston or Miami, you need to do, or BR. I mean, not BR, DR, Dominican Republic. Okay, so you need to be taking these trips and catching these planes. But initially, what you need to be doing right now is investing in the amount of knowledge that you have in order to make this. You need to be investing mentally in order for you to take what you can get to make the most out of it. Not all the linens and all the, stuff you can buy and bring back, but more so the knowledge that you can bring back from people's cultures when you do make these travels. And if you're an Aquarius, you do need to be taking a trip within less than 365 days. I'm telling you that. Shit, I mean, you have enough knowledge. You have this knowledge right now. You can save up to go out the country. You can go to Mexico, or you can go to Canada, or you can go to the Czech Republic or Paris. Just invest in yourself enough for wherever you go to be not only a great financial investment, but to be a great mental and emotional and spiritual investment. I had family from Chicago come visit me in Atlanta, and they had a miserable time because they didn't know what to do when they got here. And I'm not in Atlanta, I'm in the Chicagoland area, but The fact that they came to Atlanta, they went to Atlanta and they felt like they couldn't get anything out of it. I feel bad for them because, bro, I'm like, you spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get out here, and all you did was sit in the house and smoke weed and drink beer with me. Like, that was horrible for me to see somebody waste all that money and eat pizza. Like, you ate the same food that you eat in Chicago every day. We didn't even get to go to Gladys Chickens and Waffles. We didn't even get to go downtown. Like, come on, man. And the last card we have is for Pisces. And after this, guys, make sure you share so you can get a free reading. And make sure that you let me know that you share because we're about to go into these free readings. What's up, Karen? What's up, Mary? Well, Mary, make sure you you watch this back so you can get your reading for Aries. And for Pisces, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So Pisces, what you need is to upgrade your money, your financial situation. And we have balance, teaching and learning, 57, two numbers, two very important numbers for money, a balance of money. So for Pisces, we have Pisces. You need to understand, just like Jeezy said, if you had $1 million right now, what would you do with it? Like, if I taught you how to make $1 million right now and you did it successfully, what would you do? Understanding how you would be inside that money, inside that abundance. And it doesn't have to be money. It could be a husband or a wife, or if you want a family, if you had those three children. I know a lot of women, for some reason, around these times want to have twins for some reason. If you had those twins, and again, if this applies to you, if you're a Pisces moon, Pisces sun, Pisces ascendant, or you have that Saturn in your 12th house, understand this message. But for some reason, I think this is very important. For some reason, a lot of women that I run into want twins right now. If you had those twins with that third child or those 4 children, what would you do with it? How would you handle it? I'm not talking about emotionally. I'm talking about logically, because Pisces is already balanced in one of the two. Okay, so you need to be figuring out which two you need to be hopping in, which vehicle you need to be hopping in as a Pisces to be able to handle the manifestations that you are putting the waves into. Okay, why do you think I call my stuff weekly waters? Because it's not about what you more so create, because what you want is what you're already a wave of. You just have to increase that waviness to be able to receive those waves back. Okay, if you're not aligned with that mother wave, you don't need to be trying to have these twins. If you're not aligned with that $1 million wave, you don't need to be trying to put out waves of $1 million. Okay, if you're not in line with that Playboy wave, you don't need to be putting out waves of Playboyness. Okay, and that's the message I have for Pisces. You need to be learning in that balance of teaching. Okay, that 5, that change, that 7, that spirituality. So you need to be identifying, again, that 9 of Pentacles. You need to be identifying what you need to be doing. But again, like I said, guys, now we're on to these free readings. So if you want a free reading, make sure you share. And again, if you want a 3-card reading, that's going to run you about $10. 2 oracle cards, 1 tarot card. If you want to skip, that's going to line you up about $6. But we're doing 3 oracle card readings. Free, make sure you share. Ari, we already did that. I get you though. Make sure you share. So for Mary, what do we have for Mary? Or she get. I'm gonna do 3 readings for the first people who shared. The first people I'm drawn to that have shared. So make sure you share if you want a free reading. Then I'm gonna go live again in about 45 minutes, if that's okay with you guys. We're gonna do the first 3 people who comment I shared, and then we're gonna do some free readings right after that, okay? So for Ari right now, I'm getting that you're really focused. We have self-discipline. self-discipline. What you need is meditation, Ari. What you need is meditation more than anything in this world. More than anything. This is the ego. This is where you are. This is what you're in touch with. But this outside color, 3 is the number of this, that third chakra, okay? And 7, that number of the source. And the source, you can make the source spirituality if you want. You can make the source spiritual if you want. A lot of people don't make it that. A lot of people make it things that are more ego-based. This is why it's very important, okay? Because 3 plus 7 is what? 1. Or as a lot of people like to say, 10. The self, love, knowledge, okay? What are you going to make your source? That's what you need to be meditating on at this point, okay? And then again, we have another 7. You're going to understand your source a little bit deeper when you start meditating. When you understand your source a little bit deeper, and notice it's 2 different purples. It's 2 different purples. One's a little deeper than the other one. This one has a little bit more blue, emotions. No, wait. This one has a little bit more blue, emotions, investment. Okay. This one has a little bit more red, and then it's a little bit purpler, which is not a word, so don't use that word. Okay, I just made that up. So what you need to be understanding is you need to be meditating on what you perceive as your source. Your source could be your family, money, your friends, sex, sexuality. Your source could be your goals, your personal growth, like this card, 7. It could be whatever you want. Your source could be alive. It could be anything, any kind of spiritual inclination that you may find yourself in alignment with, but that's ultimately up to you what your source is. Your source does not, a lot of people think their source is their spirituality, but a lot of people are wrong. That's why we have a lot of problems in this world. Okay. So, Alysia, you shared Will Love readings. That's awesome. And then we're going to do one for the next person. That just means just reflection. So Alysia is going to be the last person, and then we're going to go back live in about 35 minutes, guys. So if you want another reading, make sure you share. Make sure you join. If you have a business, if you have any kind of endeavors, if you have any services or products, make sure that you go on Facebook and look for my group called the Elevation Wave. There we do free share promotion and advertisement. So for Alysia, we have a very important reading for you. We have a 44, 12, 11. Yeah, I can see. Okay, so where you are is you're very meditative. You're trying to be more conscious of how you place your energies. Maybe not, I'm getting not so much how you speak to people or how you think. As a man thinketh, so is he. But you're trying to be more conscious of how you place your energies and how you place yourself in society, and how you, especially, I'm getting that speaking for you is very important at this point. What you need is you need to study more so how to combat these challenges. It's not even about combating them all the time. It's about how to swerve around these challenges, how to drift, there's only a couple ways that you can deal with specific challenges. You can either let them run through you, you can run around them, or you can bump heads. You can hit it, okay? You can either conform You can run from them, or you can compromise. Okay? Conflict resolution. It's up to you. It's up to you. And you have to understand this information, and you have to understand why each one is important in their own specific way, why each one is ideal for specific situations, and why each one is not so ideal for each situations. And you have to be able to reach a specific level of clarity in order to understand why each one is important or unimportant in each one of their own ways. Okay. And the end result, of course, is going to be that number 11. Very important. Health, relationship change. People are going to interact with you differently. A lot of people are going to say that you need to be complacent. A lot of people are going to not understand why you are not where you were when you first met them. A lot of people are going to say that you're switching up, acting brand new, doing something that they're not used to, doing something that they're not comfortable with doing, which is changing, acting inside that element or that spirit of change. They're going to become, that's their way of saying that they're scared of you. That's their way of saying that they're confused about what you're doing. They're uncomfortable about what you're doing. That's okay. If they can't conform to that spirit of change, then you need to not be around them. Because if they don't want to conform to that element of change that you have going on, if you don't say, look, I'm going to school, I'm doing this, I'm going to the gym, I'm not eating pizza and cheese fries with bacon sprinkles on the top, bacon bits on the top, which sounds kind of good right now, but it's not good for you. Okay, you need to be indulging in that. If they can't understand that that's not what they need to be doing, and that's why you're not doing it anymore, snip, snip, cut them off. Simple as that. All right. So that was my last reading, guys. Bear with me. Give me about 30 minutes. I'm going to go back live for some free readings. Make sure to share this video. If you feel like anybody that's an Aries, a Gemini, a Pisces, a Sagittarius, a Cancer, a Taurus, a Scorpio, a Libra, a Gemini, somebody that's a Leo, somebody that's a Virgo, a Scorpio, a Libra, a Sagittarius, a Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Moon, Sun, Ascendant, Saturn in the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, and the rest of the numbers, all the way up to 12, can benefit from this. Make sure that you give them heaven so they won't go to hell, baby. And that's all up to you. It's Aaron Moses. Life is in the breath. Breathe it in. I wish you peace, happiness. I hope that you want to be better for the rest of your life so that you don't have to be better in the next life. All right? Peace.